Bob from Bob's Workshop. I've been working on a few projects lately, and I seem to be skipping from one to the other, never fully finishing many of them. Some have been finished. I might have ADD, I'm not sure. But anyway, I'm working on my layout in this video, and there are some styrofoam rocks that are getting in the way of the pedestrian bridge that goes from Main Street over to the new harbor area. So I'm going to cut those off and repaint them and try to blend them into the existing rock face. Spoiler alert, it turned out pretty good. But don't take my word for it, watch the video. So, thank you for watching.
Here's a little corner of my little layout that some people are calling the harbor area. In the past year, I've carved foam insulation to resemble rocks, and I recently enlarged the dock area. To reach the dock area, visitors have to use the plastic-filled pedestrian bridge to cross over the tracks. But because of an outcropping of rock overhead, most people had to duck or limbo underneath in order to visit the waterfront. There's also a seam that shows up between two pieces of glued styrofoam, and that line has always bugged me. So I'm going to trim back some of the rock face to make more headroom on the bridge, and also to remove that eyesore of a seam. Not a lot of this is glued down permanently. 75% of the pedestrian bridge crosses the tracks, but I did use two stair sections in the carved foam over on Main Street. They're still the same plastic-filled steps, but I've worked them into the landscape instead of connecting directly onto the overpass. The guardrails track is screwed down, so I'll just lay a towel down to collect the mess I'll be making. I didn't bother filming it, but I painted the exposed insulation and the little rocks with flat black craft paint. While it was still wet, I sprinkled a bit of sand onto the paint for additional texture. Now I'll just use gray and tan to dry brush some of the highlights and show off that texture. With the rock modifications completed, the pedestrian bridge can now reopen, and the locals can go back and forth without having to bend over. While I was working on the cliff overhang, I also added the decking to the boardwalk, which you may have seen in an earlier video, so progress continues. Thanks for watching, and until next time, this has been Bob's Workshop. Take care.